The clicking of the pen. You know what time it is. It's time for me to take notes. And that means it's time to go to a trial. The best part of the game. Alright. Let's see. Last week. Yeah, last week, of course. We think we finished up with the investigation part of this case, and now it's to a trial. And the trial of Gina Lestrade. Let's start playing from yes. Let's see what happens here. This is the last trial of, excuse that noise, the Ace Attorney Adventures, the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. This is part 1 of this Chronicles. So, getting close to an end, not the end, but an end to this. So, all right, time for some more shoddy voice acting. I actually used the voice acting tag this time on my stream, so I don't know if that makes any difference. We'll find out. When I woke the following morning, Suzato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last. One that I would remember for the rest of my days. All of the other days, I shall remember this. I have a lot of chords on this, so they might move around a little bit. Try not to worry about that. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your let me start over. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. Or I can do it. Because it's only me. It's only me this time. I'm doing this all on my own. But if you could cooperate, that would be great. That would help. So where's your friend then? Sorry? My friend? Are you talking about my... Okay, I guess she is my friend. You know, her in the fancy dress. Suzato, or how would you say it? I don't know. Ah, Miss Suzato. Miss Suzato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. Well, it's not like she's my girlfriend, so I don't think that would be appropriate. Besides, I have a job to do here. Very important job. It's fine. I'm sure she'll be back in the next game. It's not as though Miss Suzato and I won't meet again one day. Even so. But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Who is this? Is this... Sholmes? Ah, no, it's the kid. How are you feeling, Guinea? Did you manage to sleep? Look, I brought the cat with me to trial. Nobody's ever done that before. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we need to show our support. Please don't let her be my assistant. I don't... I kinda want Suzato back. Isn't that right, Waggy? Mickey. Great way to show your support, kitty. Let him have a nose around. What I'm gonna do. Oh, that reminds me. I brought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Guinea? Oh, well, I think I better get the bad news out of the way first. It's not like I have a choice, you know. Nah, I always like to take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move in the rain. Who would have thought that rain would stop carriages from moving on the roads? I guess the roads in London were just full of mud at this point in time. It's the only reason I can think of. Or the horses don't like the rain. Like, why would the carriages be affected by the rain? Huh? The bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I guess. It's not really relevant at this moment in time, but I couldn't give a monkeys really. I agree. I couldn't give a monkeys about that. If only all good news canceled out the bad. And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. See? How'd you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Bruno will show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be... Discharged diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Bruno, isn't it right? Oh, yes. Let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How is that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? No. It's like she was still here. No, I disagree with that. I would like to examine this paper because there probably will be important information on there. Good luck, Bruno. I'll do what I can. You mean you're not going to be with me in the trial? Really? Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. Please don't. Please don't bring a giant bazooka into the courtroom. Please don't. We don't need any more accidents. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but... Thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. No, it's not. It's not. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Guinea? Well, I was wondering, is all, about Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Yes. The operation was a great success. They managed to replace his heart with a mechanical one. He'll be like a cyborg now, and sort of like a steampunk cyborg now. But yes, the operation was a great success. I saw over it myself, and it's like, yes. His body now belongs to me. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Yeah? I've asked a friend of mine, at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Suzaru-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today, to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime, which I will do. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial's about to begin. Arr. Please make your way into the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina, Iris. Or you can just stay in the, what do they call it, the gallery? You can just watch from the gallery, Iris. It's okay. Lead the way, Bruno. No, you're not coming in to this. Not coming in with me. I mean it. Don't come in here with me. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. Have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. It's that. Yes, it's that. You should believe in people. But not McGilded, the Irishman. No, we should not believe in him. Absolutely not. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zieks. My lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. I don't know why I said it like that. Just have to go with it. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly. And here you are again today. And there are some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior. In what one might describe as your former life, 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today, you chose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Why are you here? Get out. Yes, I just managed to work that out. Thank you. Why are you here? You have no legal experience and you're a small child. I don't care if you're a genius. Get out. Get out. You're not even half as useful as Pearl Fay. Get out of here. You can't channel anybody. Just... Why are you here? Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. But I kinda had to because the Chief Lord Justice made me do it. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Nipponese. You're getting a little getting a little racist there, dude. Come on. What? Did he really just say that? He did. He means you now, Runo. Actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris, for stating the obvious. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all Londoners' malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. What do we got? Oh, some familiar faces. Especially one familiar face who I didn't know actually existed, but he's there. Okay. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Former Lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible, but should I have? Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Okay. That's not exactly the right answer. Is something wrong, you know? Oh, not exactly, it's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact, except for the one with the stereoscopes. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? I must have a very small pool of jurors in London to work with here. It's like we keep getting some of the same people over and over again. But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe... So I've been led to believe. But something tells me I'm being duped here. Oh yeah, you're definitely being duped here. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say.
Oh.
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed. The court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. I will now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet.
Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Here's not grab a little girl, pickpocket anywhere. She's one of them silver jabs that lives in the slums at the East End.
Oh, well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the Germans waiting for? Use it.
We can't jump to conclusions here. We must have assumed her guilt because of what she has... What?
I gotta read that again.
We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive.
There we go. My learned Nipponese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pickpurse, or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. Alright.
This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno.
I think that's because it has. But before we do anything, let's take a look at the evidence we got. Alright, so what do we got here? Unbook a ticket. Manipulated case notes. I'm going to look at this here. The omnibus murder victim found deceased on Glasgow omnibus. The first stabbing of the other man. Mr. Milton, brickmaker, East of London. Mr. Magnus the Gilded. Schroeder, 3 eyewitness testimonies. A surprise 4th witness's testimony resulted in a pre-elucidation evidence. Okay, alright. So what's with this paper here?
Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. How awful. For Guinea, I mean.
But tomorrow's headline will be, Discharged Diver is Dauntless Do-Gooder, right?
Yes, something like that. If possible, I like to go even bigger.
Bigger? How?
Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial, perhaps.
Protects planet?
Ooh, I can't wait for tomorrow's now. It's going to be so great.
What's back here?
There's a sensational story lower down the front page as well. Look. Ministry mole? Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of the world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted. But how would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo?
No, of course not. I wonder... Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be. And it could explain why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Can I rotate this? There we go. I will admit, for some reason, that makes me think of this person here looks a bit like Franklin Roosevelt, almost a little bit. Kind of squint your eyes, it kind of looks like him. Although Franklin Roosevelt wasn't really. He might have been just a child at the time this game took place, though. Anyway, autopsy report. Coroner was Dr. Steven, name of victim, Pop Winnie Bank male, pawnbroker. Time of death was April 16th, between 1 and 1:30. Important part was Renosuke. Postmortem, single bullet wound and upper half victim's back, no other visible signs of trauma. Instant death from posterior anterior bullet wound to the heart. Bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Okay. Photograph. That would seem to match up, I guess, with the report. Now, the only issue here, which is, you know, I just want to state, like, what the obvious problem here is. You know, usually when somebody tries to murder somebody, they usually don't lock themselves in the storeroom. Because, you know, that's kind of a guaranteed way to get caught. So it doesn't make any sense for, you know... If we're presuming Gina to be the killer here, it doesn't make any sense for her to lock herself in the room and be caught like that. Also, because the way the body fell, it seems more likely he was shot from outside the storeroom. Just by the way the bullet trajectory would have went into him and knocked him down. It's probably not even going to be. It's probably not even going to come up. But you know, you never know. Again, there should be only one bullet in here, or one casing. Let's see. What do we got here? This is Mr. Winniebank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty.
Mr. Winniebank always used to keep this gun to hand on the shop counter.
Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. Because remember, his plan was, if anything ever went wrong in this shop, was to shoot himself in the head. So, clearly that plan didn't work. He must have thought nothing was wrong. So he was snuck up on and then shot. Because if he knew something bad was going down, then you know the first thing he would have done was like whip that gun out and just boom in the head. Because that's what he stated his plan was going to be several times before he interacted with him.
That's right. To keep all the pawned articles that were in this care safe. No.
We already stated what the reason was. But his one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Yes. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? Is there anything else in the gun here? Doesn't seem like there's anything else. Can we actually open the gun up? This gun, yeah, okay. No, okay, we can't open it up. Okay. Alright. Come on. Alright. I think that's because it has. Let us begin. I am now in serious mode. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on the 16th of April of this year. What? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Name's Nash Shokin. Occupation is, baddie. Professional baddie. Name's Ringo Sulkin. Occupation's, same as him. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. Do not call me Mr. Fish and Chips. That's right. We're what they call the Wet Bandits. The Free Sculpin Brothers. The three? Are you looking at me? What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. God blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we got going through? It's our older brother. Lost contact with him when Maeve, so we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night we came across you. The very spell of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is Nash? Yes, the very spit of him. So what is there then? It was what we was gonna do, we was gonna call you. Why do they have fruit? Big bruv sulky. Come on, leave me out of it, you two. Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. You know, you can at least call me Inspector Fish and Chips. That'll be more appropriate. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves they are. These three? No, my lord, I'm begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence. Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Order! Order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With the lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. These are criminals. Why are we allowing them to act as witnesses? Why are they not suspects? Come on. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Cause it's skulking, never skulking. And just get out of it. I'm just going to eat my fish and chips and ignore you. Testimony time. Illegal entry, okay. Nah, sure, okay. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and a gaff's door was ajar, see? Okay, so he says door was open. Or ajar. Let's be accurate here.
It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, was?
A sign to enter, okay.
But once we got inside, court blummy, we heard a gunshot in the back room.
Heard gunshot from back. Okay.
We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside.
What door? Okay, so the door was locked from inside. Doing that thing where you're kind of looking down and away to the left is what he's doing, and that's... I think I remember reading somewhere that's usually a tell that somebody is just lying. We'll see if that actually plays out here. But I'm pretty sure they're both fine. Anyway, just... yeah.
We never done nothing, Governor. Never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet.
So you say you took nothing. Took nothing, but oh, gee. What about the second gunshot? You know, the one where somebody shot Mr. Sholmes? What about that? I think we're missing some information here. Oh, we're definitely pressing them. We're gonna press them like a hot iron. A terrible coincidence it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail, with the sole exception, however, of Mr. Sholmes being shot. We did not include that on the map. Why, I don't know. But I assume we will get there. The door providing access to the storeroom and the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now. Of course. Counsel, would you please? Counsel? Yes.
What's the matter, Runo?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is.
Hold it!
The front door of Winniebanks was ajar, you say. What time of night was this? It must have been about 1, right, Ringo? We're not asking Ringo.
Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Shoki?
How would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. That might be significant. Light inside. What about you, Sulky, me old mucker? Leave me alone. I'm going to devour my infinite fishing chips here on the stand for everyone to see. Don't drag me into this. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
Objection, yes. That is pure conjecture. Huh. Perhaps. But it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder. Simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened.
Hold it!
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash. They do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? It weren't no whim. I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash. It weren't. Like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. What? Okay. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. It leads to a bloke. What just looks like... It looks just like... I can't pronounce these people's language. It's so hard to pronounce because it's so weird. It leads to a bloke what looks just like a bruv. I said, cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep, just the one, Governor. I could swear to that. It was, Nash. It was. Ain't that right, bruv? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Very irresponsible of him. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true, I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. That doesn't necessarily mean she shot him, though.
Hold it!
Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my lone friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Like this one, which I made myself. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door, that of the storeroom. Of course there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see by.
And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all.
That's right. So how did you know there was a door there? It was hidden behind a curtain. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well,
Your turn to rabbit, Ringo.
Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. Not that I'm saying these are courageous individuals. It is just a saying. These gentlemen are the latter inclination, my learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Please disregard what I just said because it is total horseshit.
Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story?
Well, it was bedlam soon as it were, wasn't it? It was, Nash. It was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out and me Lucy lockets.
So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out, me Lucy lockets.
So you clearly like us to believe.
Yeah, come again.
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive! They fired a gun, you say?
Ah! Blimey, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in that doorway.
It was. That makes me a witness to the case, which is technically a conflict of interest. I don't know why I'm a lawyer in this case.
Wait a bleeding Nora. Didn't you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes, so-called greatest detective.
They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to the hospital.
The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery at the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Skullcumber's gun. I very much want to look at this gun. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, You can put a zip on that for a moment, Lord Vences, because I want to look at that. I want to look at that gun. You just drink your wine for a moment. It's a very interesting revolver. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as we walked in through Winniebank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. I'll enslave their souls. They will belong to me forever, for eternity. It actually is a very interesting revolver here. Huh. Let's see. Is there anything else we can find out about this thing? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Yes, please continue. Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. I did? Well, yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. Well, your evidence is, Mr. Sholmes himself.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there. We can do a little better than that, Ryunosuke.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired the gun before they left Winniebank's that night. Do we have, was there an article about Mr. Sholmes being shot? Whoops. Hold on. I think my internet's still okay. Yeah, it seems like it is. Alright. Steam was just telling me that I got disconnected from the internet. I'm like, what happened here? It's like, did my internet go out? It doesn't seem like it did. I'm still up, so. Okay, I'm seeing that there's something that tells me that Sholmes was shot. Like, maybe that's the bullet that shot Sholmes, even though technically I kind of saw that before he got shot, but so in my head it doesn't really wrap around my head very well. I mean, I don't really have anything that would... that says that, hey, Sholmes was shot at the scene. So there's your evidence. Oh well, let's just see where this goes. And maybe the game will clue me in as to what I need to do here. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. In that case, I should probably save. Because I'm not really sure what to present. Just a safety save. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night? Oh. I mean, the only thing I can possibly think of is the other thing that shows a bullet in the wall, because that would be evidence that, hey, another gun was fired.
Take that!
That's the only thing I can think of. The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do a job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. How thorough of the Nipponese, I would say. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein. Therein? Yes. Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? Whoops. This?
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Winniebank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? Actually, it is a bullet. If my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Winniebank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight. But this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Yeah. Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks? I mean, it doesn't disprove that Gina shot Mr. Winniebanks, though, so I guess he doesn't have anything to be concerned about. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection, as it should. Nani? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes yet again. Don't worry, I have an entire truck full of chalices this time. I came prepared. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. and like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Yeah? Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. We're a deal. You weren't gonna get into the details. Tell him, Sulky. Set the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Winniebank at all. So that's it.
That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellows?
Yeah. We're in for it now, bruv.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric? Says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look. Look at the other guy. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh. Oh. That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into a shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. 8:30, 9, 9:30. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Alright, so let's get to the relevant time then. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are two such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. Where are they aimed? If I may refer the court to the plan, the premises, their respective positions are here and here. So one faces the counter, one faces the door. Okay. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. An astute observation. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
Hee, that's a bit of a fire trick, bruv. Lady Luck shows the leather spoken.
Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
It must have been just after 1.
Right, bruv?
Must have been, Nash. Must have been. Yeah. Yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, minutes before, these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Good lord. It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. Okay. The lamp is not broken, though. The lamp was broken at the shop, I do remember that. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photograph for print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Can I have my own look at that? Cat. Yeah, looks like that. Dog. Nothing kind of immediately jumps out to me on this except for the fact that the lamp is not broken. Don't know how that factors into anything yet, but I guess we'll find out.
I don't believe it, Guinea. Guinea.
In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank. Ah! You got me. You got me. I say, my lord. Who? Who's talking? I say, my lord. Wonder if I might put it in the word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a bally blow to the knee in the Battle of Mainland, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see. The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. Although some are ladies, I admit. And we all go down together, you mark my words. One for all, and all for one. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garadeb Squadron's position, sir.
What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here.
Fast report for the court, men. On the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times. And that goes for making decisions, too. I think I'll find the truth as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning on this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Well, this is what usually happens. Not a big deal. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Giddy didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants permission. This again. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Here we go. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketing. I don't know how you pronounce that word. He just says evidence clearly points to it, so okay. Clearly points to guilt.
As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated.
That's not really an adequate explanation, but okay. I don't know how to summarize that. It's like,
I am a housemaid.
I just clean. That's all I do. It's like, okay, fine. I am housemaid. Yeah.
I think you'll find that if you look at this photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
Really? Check photo in stereo. I'll be very curious because I figure, you know, the stereoscopic thing is going to come up at some point in the trial. So this might be something to press on here.
If I left it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now.
This dude is senile, completely not paying attention. Just, that's a big fat question mark. It's not a reason why the person's guilty. Okay,
Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of birth to follow. Stop.
So just mind made up. Okay. In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes. Judge by head. I am convinced. Brothers are innocent. Okay. Brothers are innocent. Alright, we're gonna have some pressing to do here. Because some of the reasons aren't really reasons at all. Just nonsense. The circumstance of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom, locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention, this print. Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bally trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh dear. Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder.
But what about the photos taken at the doorway? We didn't get those. I'm wondering if there's something else in the doorway photos. There has to be. Van Zieks is hiding it. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winniebank. Which means there's more to this situation that we've yet to see. More than meets the eye.
Agreed.
You have the floor, Counsel. Proceed with the Summation Examination. Summation Examination time.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsumi's landlord, Mr. Garadev, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? We should not be having this conversation. Ryunosuke, this has nothing to do with the case. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Are we trying to imply a quid pro quo here? Ryunosuke? That's not how we're supposed to do things in the court. Can't be denied, I suppose. Curse of the Garadev's house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out, and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Tenancies? Oh. Haven't had that heart to break the news to Joanny yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot. But not for us, that's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason. I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. But honestly, I really wish you'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2.
Hold it!
I'm polishing the bench, I see. Again.
A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain.
What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to a market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick-purses, and crossmen. The scum of the earth.
A little harsh, perhaps.
Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. Meaning I would gladly exterminate all of them. If I had the power to do so. The snap of my finger, they'd all just turn to dust and blow away. Just like that. Because that's the kind of person I am in my heart. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals.
You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Ranch magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. Even if it is only fiction. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital.
Mr. Sholmes? A maid?
It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective.
Minor detail. It was the 2 brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant.
A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight, anyway.
Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting of a great detective.
Hold it!
I agree with you. The shooting of Mr. Sholmes was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Winniebank.
I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir.
Sorry?
Whether it was the thieves or the pickpurse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated, in my considered opinion. Exterminated.
Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind isn't going to be easy.
You know, it was one of those two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it?
Yes, without question.
Well then, I'll never forgive them.
Oh, Iris, that doesn't help us right now.
Perhaps we can use the maid's statement to help us somehow, you think?
Yes, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first.
Sounds like a plan. I'll let you get back to it.
Hold it!
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo?
Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photograph print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun.
All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information.
But we would need a second photograph. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? You think?
Oh, how did you know?
Well, let's call it a lucky guess.
It never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity. That is until we develop, you know, moving pictures. Someday we'll develop motion pictures, and it'll be the next great, biggest thing. And then we'll add stereoscopic vision to that too, and it'll be like the next biggest thing.
Of course.
Oh yes, I think you'll find the stereoscope is here to stay until motion pictures come along, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. Yeah!
If only you could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Okay, Grandpa, what's up with you? What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that.
Ah, I'm so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon.
A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Why are you a surgeon?
Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field.
So, what is it that you think you left behind?
Well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing, went in through the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere.
What? Did he? Surely not.
Exactly, surely not, you said yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside this fellow's belly? No, of course I didn't. Maybe I left the gauze inside. I don't know. It happens sometimes. So there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out eventually when, the patient screams in agony with something stabbing him from inside, but...
That's one way of putting it. The other one is manslaughter.
That's exactly my concern, and seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. That added nothing.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you transmitting the trial stuff to somebody else? It's like, is that even allowed? Are you from the East Shop? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Well, I said from the Far Shop. Are you from the Far Shop? The shop in the East. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communications with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. Hee hee. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over the airways to four corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmospheric electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. Oh. Competition here. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. You have something to add?
Excuse me.
Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again, go on! I dare you! Goodness, are you talking to me? I think she just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely, I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you never even noticed before. Nani? Have you got any, Runo? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope? Hold on. I had the pair of cat photos. Maybe. I can show you the cat photos. I don't think that's gonna... Well, how about this print here? It should do a trick nice. Am I gonna get dinged for this? Because I'm like... To do a stereoscope, you need 2 photos. I know that much. It's like... Actually, don't we have a second photo of the murder scene? Of the, pawnbroker?
Well, let me see what happens here if I present one of these things.
Take that!
No, I can't actually think of anything we can use at all. What?
Really?
Oh dear.
Oh dear, I think I may need to have a stereoscopic look at your brain sometime. Because you are an idiot.
What's that supposed to mean? Oh, okay, I didn't get penalized for that. In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes. Judge by it. Oh,
Hold it!
please tell me you're not Velen Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Why are you here?
Revolutionary?
And why is he on an English jury? Shouldn't it only be English citizens on the jury, not foreign nationals? Duh, I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat.
And which glove fits?
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take a bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like a vicious criminal all the time. It is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look.
The Skulkin brothers?
Duh. Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But they have done nothing wrong. That is all I want to say.
The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. You know, not like shoot Mr. Sholmes, that wasn't wrong. Alright, well, first of all, that's one not-so-little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Runo? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting amongst, who looks for all the world like a revolutionary that's on the lam? I wish I knew. I mean, I don't pick them. I didn't make up the rules, Runo. Why are you asking me? If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over. But we know that Guinea would never shoot anyone. Yeah, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other, you know, like what we almost did before. I'm actually ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. So we will do this again. Now I need to figure out what to photograph. Can I just pit them against each other? Would that work? Or can I just... No, let's just do the thing again. Actually, wait, I want to check something, because do I actually have a second photograph? Oh, okay, no, I don't have a second photograph of the actual body. Okay. So he's gotta be talking about either one of these photographs here. Maybe they're talking about this one here. We'll see.
Excuse me.
Let's try a different photo here. Let's try that
Take
one.
that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. See, that's the thing, we need like an identical photograph. Eh?
Take that!
Wait, sorry? What do you mean one more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Are you an idiot? You know. What? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? You know, one for the left eye and one for the right. Do I have to explain this to you again? Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph. No, I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Ha ha ha! I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track, shall we, Counsel? All we need is another shot from a slightly different location and we could see the scene in 3 dimensions.
Hold it!
Does somebody happen to have one? Mr. Prosecutor, do you have another print we can use? Can I really show up new clues, though? Don't know unless you try. How about this print here should do the trick?
Take that!
And no, not really. Because I'm a moron. And convinced the brothers are innocent. Maybe we can pit him against the housemaids, who's so, like, anti-peasant. Should swing Pershing. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so maybe that's an angle I can go for.
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord. Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my, what statement? Contradictory? Contradict. Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick. I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. Abdomen. BD. Sir? Sorry. My English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me. I did not hear. Here is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? Like, yes, really, who decided this was a good idea? How did it get... Normally in a trial, the prosecutor and the defense attorney have to kind of interview the juries, the potential jurors, to decide who is suitable to go on the jury. Obviously, in this case, you know, the defense attorney did not interview the jury. So I don't know whether the prosecution is selecting the jury or not. If so, I'm kind of wondering why Van Sieck chose this dude. He's clearly not an English citizen, let alone a London resident, so why is he on the jury? So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before, we never done nothing. But truth is, they shot detective. Duh. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big, fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough. I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. Stop squeezing it. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. No, you don't. Yes, it is, Runo, easily. Sorry. With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. Ah. If you compare the print that pictures Guinea and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor. Tut. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. It was only a matter of time till you'd come to me. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. That was about half an hour time. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is a print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. Thank you for the picture. Yes, the lamp is broken. So this was taken after Hurley was shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. Or has it? That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print except for the broken lamp. So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You are right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Okay, that's the first one. Yay! Well done, Runo. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still. We still have a long ways to go here. Thank you, Counsel. Continue with the summation examination, please. And kindly hand that new photograph or print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Post-shooting photo. Okay. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. Well, that would be a stereoscope. In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty, verdict.
Hold it!
Alright, let's try with these two photos. See what we can get.
Take that! Take that!
Alright, these two prints were both taken with the same camera in Windybanks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer, do you know how stereoscopic images work? Yes, I do. You don't need to explain it again. Do you understand the principle? Yes. Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday, and Iris did explain it to me again just now. But I guess we gotta go through this again, just to make sure the player knows. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth, which we can't really duplicate on the Switch because we don't have a 3D screen. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing that's seen three-dimensionally anyway. Oh. Oh! Of course, now I see. Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have! I have! Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Bruno. Go on. Can you see if there's a really obvious difference between them? Yeah, the lamp is broken in the other one. And I think that might be the only difference here. I'm checking here. If there's anything else here. Yeah, the only thing I can see is the lamp. Of course there is. There are two people in the first and no people in the second. Stop being an idiot and I'll stay. Well, yes, you can see that straight away, if you're an idiot. But now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly, which is something I can't really do. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pins from each picture overlap in the middle. Who can try? Wait. That lamp is broken. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Bruno? Oh, no, not really. Dang it, I didn't mean to select that. I'm just not very good at this, that's the trouble, and I don't really have the proper screen or the 3D screen to do this. Oh, don't worry, I have just a thing. I happen to bring with me a portable stereoscope. I know I mentioned this yesterday, but if you've had that contraption with you from the outset, you could have saved me staring at Mr. Windybank and Gina like I hate them all the time.
And if you remember, I said in reply that it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. No, it's just not. Anyway, why don't you try using this helpful little aid now? Yes, give me that thing. Here goes. Yoink. Now, let's see what we've got. Wait, look at that. What's going on with these two pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Oh, Lordy. Yes, that's it, you see? That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. The other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, huh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the position of certain objects that lets you see pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures. Yeah, they have moved slightly. I can see it now. Like the items on the counter moves like slightly to the right. But what does this tell us? It tells us somebody tried to move the stuff on the counter and didn't quite put it back right. Okay. I mean, there's still a broken lamp. This shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of the whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does this shift between two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What? Me? I am the first idea. I'm not the cross-eyed master. Don't tell me that. You know, Runo, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zukas! Someone tampered? New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. I would say it's these morons. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Wait. This does not agree with what brother said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy lockets. My phrase book says dukes is meaning hands. and Lucy Lockett is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there a minute. You can't be sure of that. I quite agree. The accused is a common pick-purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things in the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windybank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony.
But the accused is a pick-purse. Common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here?
Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madame. No better, in fact worse, than a pick-purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Well said.
I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair.
Whoa. Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop.
Any more? Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call the summation examination to conclusion, with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus, and I order this trial to continue.
Yay, we did it! Well done! Oh, by the way...
What?
You should hold on to this, Runo. You never know when it might becoming useful or handy.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. But alright, I'll take it. Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. To be continued. Yay! The first part of the trial is done. Alright. Let's see, that was 2 hours. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna stop there. We'll continue the trial either tomorrow or Thursday night. We'll see. I'm gonna see if I can finish this trial this week. Let me see if I can finish it. It can't be that many parts. So, we'll see. Anyway. Yeah, the the line of logic is starting to get a little bit more vague now at this late point in the game. Because I was really trying to figure out, like, okay, what exactly do you want me to do here, game? But I got through it. Technically, I got no penalties, so I'm still ready to go here. So we're good. We're good. I will, like I said, I will continue later in the week here. So, all right, that'll be it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.